How's it going, trainers? Coming at you with our Pokemon Pocket deck highlights today featuring Nidoking. Nidoking's a really solid non-EX Stage 2 attacker that cracks for 90 points of damage with guaranteed poison, i.e. it converts to 110 per turn cycle, which is a solid amount. This lets us get through bigger things like Venusaurs and Charizards and Blastoise relatively quickly, where other smaller dark attackers like Arbok often come up short. I think this deck list is pretty well positioned overall, with a bunch of our dark typings being phenomenal against Mewtwo, while our front line in Weezing and Kangaskhan have a beefy health pool to give us a lot of time to set up our back end finisher in the aggressive matchups like Pikachu. I think these games will do an excellent job of showcasing the different angles of attack that this deck can take. If you enjoy what you see, smash that like button. For the rest of the day, have fun. The LD player is verified by the Microsoft Store, and Windows Defender didn't have any problems with it. I saw some other people saying that they had flagged it as well, but I haven't had any problems. I've been using it for a few days now. Native Windows security. Weird. Oh, that's interesting. Mine didn't do that, though. I'm mostly wondering, like, what are you doing on your computer that you think you need protection? This is an incredible start for us here. We have the full Nido line and the Weezing for coughing. This is local man about to be red carded. Any tips for dealing with red card? Yeah, don't play your professor's researches early unless you have to. We were chatting about it in the subs Discord server last night, but I had someone in a YouTube comment on the Pocket channel be very upset that I would call red card bad, because they said, and I quote, if red card was actually bad, you wouldn't play around it. And they just, like, could not get through their head that, like, you should play around cards that are common. Nice hand scope into red card. Here's my Weezing and my Nidorino that I redrew. Well done. Well done, gamer. Was it good for you? It was good for me. Like... card's so obnoxious. I am my why Pokemon Pocket doesn't need ranked video will be going up here soon, and then I think my next non-gameplay thing is putting together this is the math showing why red card is bad in Pokemon Pocket. The community desperately needs to hear that. Some Noombars. So if I tackle, it does 50. They poison to, I think I Giovanni, right? Because that means I do 60 plus 10 on poison, and then if they attack me, they die on the backswing, right? This means we're gonna have to back off. Yes, you should be playing around cards they are likely to have, regardless of how good or bad those cards are generically in the format. Yeah, so they take 1 knockout point and put my Weezing down, but I take 2 knockout points and put their Mewtwo down, and they're down energy. They're trading 2 energy for 1 energy here. Nidoking get a couple of draws here. They're going to be up a creek without a paddle. There's Big Mama. This does 60. Feeling horny. Nidoking is lethal next turn. 1 Nido in her 2 Nidos in 8 cards plus 1, or no, we're out of research. Put Mama Kangaskhan on the bench, and Nidorino got horny all of a sudden. There he is. There's Daddy. The best part is they hand scoped us, so they know we top decked it. Imagine playing a card that lets you know how lucky your opponent is. Couldn't be our opponent. It is a bulky basic that does an okay amount of damage for a single energy that buys you time against aggressive decks like Pikachu EX and Starmie EX to let you set up your backline. In my opinion, most people playing 3 or 4 basics in their decks are wrong. 5 basics should be the floor on your deck for basics that you're playing. No reason to research here. I already have Weezing queued up, holding the research plays around red card, which is coming. How many what-ofs do you think is too many in this game? I think questions like that, trying to lock yourself into heuristics across all of your decks, are one of the worst things you can do in a game like Pokemon Pocket. Oh no, they red carded me, and then the statistically probable thing happened. I redrew the card that I wanted to have in my hand anyways. Oh no, how will I ever recover from this red card, chat? Oh no! Not red card. You should check out my meta breakdown if you want a data-driven approach to analyzing what are the best cards in Pokemon Pocket. Walked through over 1,500 competitors' deck lists from tournaments, rather than just blowing smoke up your butt with my feels. I would prefer vibes and confirmation bias, please. LOL. So, get to see the real power of Weezing here. It's not just his consistent, steady source of damage, but also that tankiness when paired with our gorgeous full art Koga. Gets to pull him back and deny the opponent the knockout. It costs us an energy to do this, but that's fine. We're A-okay with expending that resource. That was decent, but imagine if you had a Dome Fossil instead. Heinous Nidokings, please, deck. A few more looks at it next turn. What's your take on Misty as a card? I think Misty is the singular worst designed card in Pokemon Pocket. And it's going to put an incredible strain on Pocket's design team in the long term. Statistically, we hit the king area. We got 3 looks into 2 hits. Sad if we miss, though. There's Daddy. Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king. And Moltres. I think Moltres is a fine, reasonable design. Moltres has a consistent energy expectation from it. In fact, I'm going to time you out, and I'll formally apologize if you can come back and cite an official source on they won't rework cards in this game. And the only information that we kind of have is there's literally text in client that says they reserve the right to change or rework cards, or to ban or change cards. I would be surprised if they take the banning approach as opposed to reworks, but they haven't confirmed one way or the other from my knowledge. Weak to fighting, lads, gamers. Peck here. If they put an energy on the Machop, we could switch up to Nidorino and then hit him with the Giovanni for the clear, which would be clean. I really just don't think speculating on what I think they will or won't do is a constructive use of my time, because we have no historical data to reference that would imply they're going to do one thing in either direction. I think anybody telling you they have some type of base for speculation is just trying to tell you what you want to hear. People need to be more willing to be like, I don't know, more frequently. Yeah, I'm actually interested to see if they eventually give me a hard time here about using my username as Jeff Hoagland, because that's my handle everywhere, because Pokemon Unite actually banned my name as my username and wouldn't let me use it, which was frustrating as a content creator. So hopefully they don't do that here. So, there's no compelling reason for me to attack with Weezing this turn, because I'm weak to fighting, and this does 120 total with weakness when the Primeape has damage on it. So by waiting a turn to put damage on them, I get an extra turn, and I want an extra turn to get energy on Nidorino and also draw a Nidoking. So I'm intentionally passing and not gassing here because I want them to take 2 turns to put my Weezing down. We evolve the Nidoran to play around Hitmonlee. Yeah, maybe. Gives it a higher retreat cost though, which is a real concern. I think without Hitmonlee out yet, I'm not going to play around it. That's fine. K2, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Weird Sabrina timing here. So this puts them ahead in terms of... knockout points, but they're really far behind in terms of tempo now, yeah? I need to find a Nidoking, though. If I hit the Nidoking next turn, which we're about 50% to, 2 research. We have 2 research and two Kings in the deck. If we hit that half, the King puts down the Primeape, and then they're on 0 energy, and we should be good to go. Yeah, it's gonna come down to if we hit the King, they've made bad tempo exchanges. Yeah, if we miss the King, the Ape solos. Oh, that's interesting. They must have misclicked. They must have misclicked. I think we're very likely to win that regardless. Like I said, if they had play there. We're about 50-50. If they hit the energy on the Primeape and then knocked out the Weezing like they should have, we put the Nidorino up, and then there were 8 cards in our deck with 2 Kings and 2 research, and a research with 2 Kings and 7 draws is pretty likely. So I think we're 50-50 to take that one, despite the weakness advantage, right? Because once we knock out the Primeape, they would have had no energy left on the board, and then the King cleans up before they can do anything. I actually completely disagree that this game doesn't have good balancing on first and second. I think there's a lot of cards right now that prefer to go second, but there's also a number of cards like Coughing and Weezing that prefer to go first. Nidoqueen is unfortunately just not very good. Her payoff is not worth the inconsistency. Nidoqueen doesn't just need 1 stage 2, she needs 2 stage 2s. Why does Weezing prefer to go first? Because Weezing is a stage 1 Pokemon with a good 1 energy attack. So it likes going first because it can evolve an attack on the first turn, the first possible advantage. Going second has an energy advantage, going first has an evolutionary advantage. Giovanni. Unlucky. Guess I should have done this first. Can't play Giovanni now because I already did a supporter for the turn. You'll be surprised to hear the subreddit is extremely upset about play order balance. Yeah, that people on frequent websites like that tend to be bad at game design stuff. Or not understand the details. I think the going first versus going second balance is something that's easily sorted through printing more cards that enjoy going first. To people who don't understand technology basics, the LD player specific installer that includes Pokemon Pocket has APK files in it to install Pokemon Pocket from, and a lot of antivirus software auto flags APK files because they're on non-Microsoft signed software installers. It says heads up / FYI. The LD player itself is signed by Microsoft or whatever. There's no non-trusted thing that pops up when you do it. If we brick on the King this turn, we're gonna need to send the Weezing up, unfortunately. Like I would ever brick on the King, chat. Imagine bricking on the King. Couldn't be me. Must be one of those lesser Pokemon Pocket players. Is it mainly just cards with good 1-cost abilities that prefer going first? It's stage 1 cards with 1-cost abilities that like going first. So, examples of these. Regular Marowak, Weezing, Executor and Executor EX, Rapidash, etc. Alright, can we start building up another king in the back? I'm gonna get the Giovanni in this turn, just put as much damage out as possible. Because I'm gonna need to start Kogaing the Weezings on the shuffle. Farfetch'd is actually an example of a card that likes going second, because Farfetch'd attacks on the first turn for 1 energy. It's not a stage 1. No, Duck's actually an example of a card that likes going second. We could just get buried by Erika's here, is very possible. Weezing might buy us enough time to get to another Nidoking. Oh, they have potions on top of the Erikas. Yeah, this monster heals for 30. So long as they don't mess up and play a basic, we're probably done here. But this is their first knockout point, so second Nidoking maybe gets us across the finish line. But the Weezings only tread water, right? Well, I guess they do 20 per cycle, right? Because of the poison. They mostly just tread water. I'm through all my basics, right? I believe. Yep. I think I'd put in Kangaskhan out, because if they Sabrina me, I'd prefer they knock out Kangaskhan rather than either of my other two. Yeah, my hope is, because they're playing Potion, that they don't have room for Giovanni. But people play all sorts of stuff, so... I 100% agree that the best decks in Pokemon Pocket right now prefer to go first, or go second. But acknowledging that is very different than saying, okay, I think going second is always best and there's a design problem here that needs to change. Do you understand that difference? That's where I'm at. There's a lot of people that are talking about going first like it needs to be fixed and changed, and I don't agree with that take. I think it's incorrect to assert that we have a game design problem and not just a current card pool thing. I would expect that over time, there will be different decks that prefer going first and different decks that prefer going second, and what is more ideal will change depending on what cards are in the game. Yeah, imagine trying to explain nuance to people on the internet. All right, they have one more potion in their deck? No, they're through it. Okay. So the only healing they have left here, the only healing they have left is on the actual Venusaur. And I have 2 Weezings, which means 2 Weezings means that Sabrina's not a concern here. So we can actually count this out now, right? So they go up to 60. They go down to 20. They go up to 50. I think we've got them. Math. Loose counting, I believe, says we've got them. Because there's also only 2 cards in my deck, so I'm guaranteed to get Koga here. They could have Giovanni. If they've got a fun of Giovanni in their deck, they've got us. But this is my second Koga here. So they go down to 20. They're gonna go up to 50, down to 40. Yeah, no Giovanni here, and they die. Yeah, we don't even need the Koga. Is accurate. I bet. Do they have a 5th basic? If they're only on 4 basics, their other basics are here, so the Sabrina gets them. Yeah, and it looks like they're only on 4 basic, so they're done. Bye, Felicia. What a slog of a game. Nidoking really... This is a game that Arbok Weezing never wins. Unless you're playing Muck. Like... Nidoking having that big, heavy hitter is a big deal. You're among friends. Are Nidoking and Nidoqueen the only dark deck? No, actually, the established good dark deck is Weezing, Weezing Arbok, sometimes Muck Splash. I like the Muck Splash. Yes, the cutting my hair and beard makes it a lot more apparent that I've lost weight this year. Big bushy beard. Harder to tell that I've dropped some pounds. Ooh. Insane top deck here. Actually just get to OTK this routes. Hit him with the leak, hit him for 50. Gobbling up the Mewtwo gamers this morning. People always ask me different questions when I shave my hair or beard. But really, chat, I promise you, my decisions are paved simply by the path of least resistance. The reason why I shave my mustache all the way off when I trim my beard is because otherwise I have to trim the mustache before I trim the rest of the beard, and by sculpting my face in this manner, it gives me the literal most amount of time possible before I need to think about picking my razor up again. It might be worth Sabrina-ing here, because it means I either get to KO the routes or I get to put damage on a Mewtwo, and I think either of those results are good for us. You even math your face group time. Gotta optimize, chat. Gotta optimize. So without a Gardevoir, this Mewtwo's a lot less scary, right? It's going to take it time to build up to side drive, but I also don't have Nidoking on deck as a concern. Please red card me. They already burned 2 potions, yeah? So they either need another X speed with their energy for the turn. Because there's no, like, sweaty ranked ladder in this game. I had about 99% of them for 300 bucks. I think you could definitely build a stock deck or 2 for about that $100 price point if you don't want to wait. my favorite deck at the moment. I really like the Blaine deck. No, I've been playing the most of off stream. I think I'm gonna play in one of the community tournaments tonight. I think that's probably what I'm gonna play. My favorite axis of competitive and reasonable, I think. I was very confused they let the Slowpoke die. Seems like that was probably a mistake on their part. I don't have Nidoking in hand here, but if we top deck it, we can always Koga back and clear. But we should be in a good spot here regardless. 2 Nidos and 8 cards. Oh, I suppose putting this up means if I research into the king. That doesn't work. That's fine though. Nido clears anything in their backline in 1, yeah? Not a big deal. He does. He effectively does 120. He does 110 with weakness plus poison on a cycle. So, they get another knockout here, but we're playing all 1 knockout point cards, right? So they cleared 2 of my things, but it doesn't win them the game.